Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks face off against Jimmy Garoppolo and the San Francisco 49ers. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We're about 40 miles south of Candlestick Point as we welcome you inside Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. The scene a short time ago, this crowd, they love their 49ers, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. And we're ready for football as the 49ers get set to do battle with Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, you take a look at these 49ers as they enter play here. They come into this one knowing it's been a while since tasting victory. They've dropped 4 in a row.
Can they remember what it was like to win a game? In these types of situations, you're looking for someone to inspire you, and it doesn't have to be one of your best players either.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Seahawks, they've gone a full half season since their last loss, winners of 8 in a row.
And you don't get on win streaks like this without your defense playing a big role. They've created quite an identity, and I know they want and expect this streak to get to 9.
It's the final 3 weeks of the season, still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. Here's Dante Pettis on the return. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. They'll be led out by their quarterback standing at 6'2" from Eastern Illinois. It's Jimmy Garoppolo.
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team of last week in his numbers, because the only excitement he really generated was the 1 interception he threw.
Yeah, no touchdown passes.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that. And they lost the game. So I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets, and bottom line, how do they get a win?
And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. A first carry down for the former Viking. This is Jared McKinnon. Takes us up just short of the 30, but he was able to avoid that earlier tackle. Nice move. 8 yards on the run, and that cuts us down to a 3rd and about 5.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Good one, able to haul it in. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down.
But we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the #1 receiver double covered, but how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
Garoppolo now, first down throw. He'll get that to the rookie from Washington. It's Dante Pettis. A big play there for the Niners. And even 40 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Inside the red zone, it's Garoppolo. That's to the right side, complete to Kittle. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
Here we go. And yet again, it's Garoppolo. Oh, he shifts past him. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up 1st and goal. They've made goal line offense a priority on the practice field this week. This is exactly the situation they've been prepping for. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. This is caught. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Jerick McKinnon, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the 49ers drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. Gold with the extra point, and that'll make this a 6-point game.
Offside, defense.
Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They'll be led out by their 5'11" quarterback from Wisconsin by way of NC State, and that's Russell Wilson.
In his stat line last week, that's not going to get him to the Pro Bowl. All right, no touchdowns, no interceptions, but they won. And so the bottom line for him is team won, managed the game effectively, led them to victory. He's doing all the right things.
Now Wilson on 1st down. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And give him a gain of 37.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around to make a play on the football.
Here's Wilson. Dancing to his left. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down.
Partner, it's often that man coverage is easier for a quarterback to run against. You get your receivers going downfield. Those guys are staying with him, and oftentimes they have their back to the quarterback, which opens up a lot of space and room, and they don't even know that he's taken off with it. What a big-time pickup on that play.
From the shotgun, Wilson. And he's just going to throw this one out of bounds here. Nowhere to go with it, incomplete. And we take a look at the offense for the Seahawks.
And wide receiver Tyler Lockett continues to improve as a route runner and a playmaker downfield. But let's not forget, his main use, kick returner. Knows how to break open a game in that area as well.
2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. Wilson. And he can't corral it. Maybe a big missed opportunity there defensively in the end zone. And now 3rd down. And the 49ers on the defensive side of the football.
And when you make an investment in a position, defensive line is a great place to do it, and the 49ers have done exactly that. Solomon Thomas, 2017 draft. Eric Armstead, 2015. DeForest Buckner, 2016. They should be a formidable defensive front.
The San Francisco defense trying to hold tough again. This is 3rd and goal. From the gun, it's Wilson. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Tyler Lockett, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks just an extra point away from tying this thing up. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball out of the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
Janikowski good with the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This will be fielded at the 8. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Now a play fake here on first down. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Frank Clark in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Now, prior to the snap, we hit all zeros as time has run out on the first quarter of play. 7-all is the score. We're back to Santa Clara after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Second quarter now. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis with you. It's the 49ers in control of the football, but they face a second and long to start things out. Throwing now is Garoppolo. And Selleck here, left side. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
On third and long, it's Garoppolo. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored 1, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
And that'll be off the crossbar and out. It's short. He couldn't get it there. It's no good. And this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2. Well, he had that one on target. That's half the battle. The other half of the battle, however, is distance.
And he nearly had that, too. But it was the crossbar that said otherwise. And that'll deny him a shot at 3.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. Forced out to his left. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. It's caught on the left side by Baldwin. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
On second down, Wilson. And left side here, it's Graham. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. A really nice gain of 25 yards. This offense can certainly move quickly when they want to. 3 plays, 3 pass completions. In the blink of an eye, they've got a 1st and goal.
Almost felt like a lightning bolt hit in this game, didn't it? For them to get downfield that quickly. And now 1st and goal, expect them to tackle right here on this play.
Escaping the pressure right. And he's got the big tight end, Graham. Touchdown, Seattle. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Seahawks are able to strike for 6. And he just did get those feet in there on the side of the end zone. Well done.
Probably the exact size foot necessary, because I think if he had another half size, that catch doesn't count. And he's able to get it in, and it counts for a touchdown.
Janikowski now for the point after. Janikowski adds the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. Out to kick is Janikowski. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes Jimmy Garoppolo now to lead his offense back out there. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but bottom line, his team's losing. They got to fix something.
And it starts with him. He has to keep that little quarterback strut going right now to make sure this team sees him as confident. Continue to try and up his game, but just let him know, hey, if I'm around, if I'm the one calling signals and throwing the football, just follow me, we'll get there. Sometimes that will do more to elevate a team than anything else.
See if he has that confidence.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a 1st down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On play action, now Garoppolo. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by the all-pro free safety, Earl Thomas. And he will bring it out past the 20-yard line. So a minute 51 to go in this first half of play. We'll come back here right after this. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. After the interception, here's Wilson. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
2nd and 10. It's Wilson again. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Akella Witherspoon. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, Where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you got...
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And a great return as he takes us up just shy of the 45.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. They go play action here on first down. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Jimmy Graham, the intended receiver. And now it's second down.
There are a good number of coaches that any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
Throw left side complete. That's Baldwin. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver should in the NFL. I don't care how you cover him. I don't care that his size isn't great. He's the one that typically comes up with the football.
Absolutely. His roots go all the way back to Gulf Breeze, Florida, where he's from, right on the water near Pensacola, and then, of course, to Stanford, and, boy, he's been good. On first and 10, it's Wilson. Throwing the out route, incomplete. It's Graham. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
On second down, here's Wilson. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Jaron Brown, the intended target, and it's 3rd and short.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Here's Wilson. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
Janikowski on for the extra point. Janikowski good with the extra point, and it's now 21-7. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told, and it all culminates with a Seattle score. Out to kick is Janikowski. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The 49er offense, they're coming back out onto the field, and we're going to give you a look at the playoff picture now into the weekend in the NFC. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the #1 or #2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, The teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. So we've come upon halftime with the visiting Seahawks. They're out in front as we send you cross-country to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish, as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal Week 15. We'll get started over at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. Matt Ryan leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. Next, we head off to check out another game, and they were winners in that one over the visiting LA Chargers. Patrick Mahomes, a strong performance there, over 300 yards passing with 3 touchdowns in the victory. Lastly, let's get to Pittsburgh. Check on the Steelers at home at Heinz Field. And they currently trail in that game against the visiting Patriots. Julian Edelman, a touchdown reception. In our game has been Russell Wilson, who was dynamic, as usual, in that first half. His guys have a 2-touchdown lead as we hand it back over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So let's glance at a player spotlight now with Russell Wilson. He's had one of those games that any quarterback loves, not only being able to complete some passes, but some deep passes.
And it's pretty to watch. I mean, it's an absolute joy to see, but let's face it, we got to give a little bit of credit where it's deserved, right?
Well, the protection's been great, if that's where you're going.
Yeah, protection's been phenomenal, but how about how it's been spotlighted, right? Our producer, Christian McLeod, our director, Kyle Burt, the rest of the crew, what they put together with these images and pictures, if you're an offensive lineman, that's what you're taking with you to contract time.
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And they'll have great field position here as the ball will be at the 15-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Michael Kendricks in from his linebacker spot. He's able to drop him for a loss of about 10.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. They run it with McKinnon. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up.
And while there was no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity may have to go out the window, and they've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
This is caught. And across the chalk, into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown. Pierre Garçon with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Niners take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Now Gold for the extra point. Gold able to tack on the extra point, and that'll cut the lead to 21-17.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward. Gold now out to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, pump the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you.
It got his man complete. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Play action. It's Wilson. And it's hauled in by Nick Vanette. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A good pickup there, a 22.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Now a carry for Blunt. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
They'll run again with Blunt. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
On 3rd down, Wilson. Buying time to his left. And it's caught. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And that's how you throw for a whole heap of yards in a game. You get efforts like that from your receivers. How about him laying out for that catch?
Yeah, excellent. Makes the quarterback look a whole lot better.
Keep working, baby. Keep working, fellas.
They'll go to Blunt, try and pound it in. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play. Holding him.
And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. The former Seahawk and former Super Bowl MVP, Malcolm Smith. Leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he's going to go down again. Cassius Marsh. He's the one to get in this time. And back-to-back sacks are going to bring up a 4th down.
And it appears to me that someone's defensive coordinator is jockeying for a raise. A sack on 2nd and goal, a sack on 3rd and goal, now brings up a decision on 4th down.
And Janikowski bangs it through, and that will push the lead up to double digits now at 10. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays. Yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
Now after the made field goal, here's Sebastian Janikowski to kick it away. This one taken from the 7. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. drive starts with a handoff to McKinnon. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
It's 49er football, but some ground to cover. They find themselves behind. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Now Garoppolo throwing on 2nd. No, he almost had it. Already with 1 interception, just missing his 2nd there. I guess they're in a situation now, 4th quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted, and if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Well, he leads the NFL in interceptions and nearly added to that total.
Got his hand on it, couldn't quite corral it. It's been a Pro Bowl-type season for him, and the term ball hawk really comes into play, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like that one a lot because teams want to avoid that type of a player, but sometimes you just can't. He just knows where the ball is.
And no, it's incomplete. Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. So 2nd and inches after that 1st down completion went just shy of the marker. They run it with Carson. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
Oh, there's no doubt that this is a huge defensive series right here. They've got to hold them to a field goal attempt or less. Otherwise, this game just might be out of reach. Let's see if they can hunker down and get it done.
And with very little time left on the play clock, Pete Carroll's going to call timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Now Wilson on 2nd down. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. Steps away to his left. He may try and run for this. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down.
I like this effort there. He got it done on his own, but let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rallying, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the 1st down. And Janikowski bangs it through, and that will stretch the lead up to 13. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now McKinnon to start the drive. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. But an alert 49er able to gain possession, so they will indeed hold on to the pigskin.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get them home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
From the gun on third, Garoppolo to the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that'll bring up 4th down. A nice job of bringing that in, but why was he so close to the sideline there? They had all kinds of room in the flat.
A little bit of a lack of coordination between him and the quarterback, because both of them should have seen that room that was available, that space. Stop your route a little bit shorter, put it on him, and let him turn and get upfield.
So now with a little over 2 minutes to play, the road back gets very difficult.
Difficult, but still not impossible if they go ahead and play this thing out. Now the defense has to come up big. They've got to go for the strip of the football on each and every snap to try and give themselves a chance.
Now Wilson. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. Wilson. And this will be incomplete. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. On 3rd down, it's Carson. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. From the right hash, this from 53. And Janikowski bangs it through, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, the offense, they got the ball in a great spot, but they went nowhere, forced them to take just the 3.
And they'll be, happy taking the 3. But those guys on the other side, they've got to be ecstatic. They didn't let them get anywhere. It made them kick a field goal. That almost feels like they got the advantage, doesn't it?
And San Francisco gets set to go here. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do.
And now the ball's out, fumbled near midfield, and the Seahawks have picked it up, and his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line.
Well, that drive wasn't a case of wanting to put points on the board. It was needing to, having to, and they didn't get it done.
Yeah, didn't get it done, and now you look at the situation and the point differential, 2 scores, pretty much game, set, match.
How about the takeaway, though, huh? How about those defensive guys?
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. The Seahawks in victory formation as they go ahead and take the knee. And with a 3rd and 13 here, the defense in a dime look.
Everyone's got four down. Tight, 380.
And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay.
Delay of game, offense.
That's going to set them back 5 yards. After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long. The Seahawks in victory formation as they go ahead and take the knee.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right? Just us against the world and get it done. How happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. And they did in this one. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. Here's Wilson to throw. Being chased out left. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Quan Williams. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. On 4th down, that turned out like a punt. Maybe he was better defensively there just to knock it down.
And you know they go over those situations. All right, 4th down, where's the ball? Where would we get the ball? But instinct takes over, and when it's in the air.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by the Pro Bowl safety Cam Chancellor. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Seahawks, they continue to make their case as a Super Bowl favorite as they move to 13-1. And they'll return home next week to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, for San Francisco, the loss might knock them out of playoff contention as they drop to 6-8. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against the Chicago Bears. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.